This is where the Blair Witch used to live. Hi. Hope you don't mind being in that video. So we just got done hiking on Robber's Roost Trail at Mount Charleston. Oh my gosh, I have no idea how long that was. It's got to be at least 2 miles. It just wasn't what I was expecting. Okay, I've never really been hiking before. And Brad's saying, well, that's part of the adventure, is you don't know what you're walking into. And it's like, right, okay. But the whole thing was like rocks, not gravel, but like rocks that are just naturally on a mountain, downhill for like a good mile. And it kept getting hotter the further downhill we went, right? Because you're going further and further down the mountain. And I'm like, this is fine. I don't mind this at all. There's no scenery though, because it was all just trees all around us going downhill. So some of the stuff we wanted to see, we didn't see. We saw this cool little, I don't know what it's called, but like a little cabin thing. And then we saw what we think might be a cave that had fallen in. So apparently legend has it that this used to be when people would steal other people's horses. They would bring them down this hill that we just went down and hide them in this cave. And we saw a cave, but it looked like it had caved in. So that's probably, you're probably seeing it right now. Anyway, there wasn't a lot of scenery. And Brad was saying, well, if we want to do that other trail today, we should probably head back. And I'm like, okay. We go to head back, and of course, the whole way back is uphill, right? Because the way down there was downhill the whole way. Oh my gosh, you guys. I was so miserable on the way up the hill. I had to keep stopping to catch my breath. My asthma flared up, so I had to use my inhaler. I'm feeling a lot better now that I used my inhaler, and then of course I'm thinking, right, because the elevation is so much higher here than where we live. But I was getting so frustrated, and I'm like, should I tell you what I want you to say at my funeral if I die out here? And I was telling Brad, I hate this. And anyway, now that we're done and we're in the car and I'm cooling off and feeling better, but he was saying that this is part of hiking. You don't know what you're going to encounter or what you're going to see, and that's part of the fun. And it's like, right. My first time just wasn't what I was expecting, because I thought there'd be some scenery at the end of this trek, and there wasn't. But we saw a cool cabin.
Well, we didn't go.
And we saw a cave that caved in. We didn't go all the way. Because it became pretty clear that at that point, we've been going downhill that long. It's going to be uphill the rest of the way. Am I going to be able to handle that much uphill if we keep going down? And we still wanted to do another trail. So, in my defense.
Yeah, well, it's not that you didn't see. Well, we didn't see scenery because we didn't go all the way.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know if there would have been anyway.
I don't know where it was.
We just kept going more and more downhill, but there was trees all around us, though. Sorry, that was that put your seatbelt on thing. I hate those things. Do you hate those things? Sometimes it's like, okay, I get it, but I'm in a parking lot, no one's around. Like, let me just not wear my seatbelt. You know? I grew up in the 80s when nothing told you that you weren't wearing a seatbelt. Remember how often in the 80s you'd be like in the back of like a station wagon and there were no seatbelts and nobody thought anything of it? Now it's like your car yells at you if you don't wear a seatbelt. Oh, and the other thing is, our car, I guess because it's getting older now, this sensor will just start going off telling me I need to put a seatbelt on the passenger, but there's nobody sitting here. So either there's a ghost or my purse weighs more than I think it does. I have learned a few lessons today. So Brad had the great idea of bringing another shirt so I could change shirts when I'm done sweating. And so I have this little spaghetti strap tank top on and then a sports bra. And it was so easy to be able to just take my shirt off and then put a clean one on. And I've got deodorant in our backpack, so that was nice. And I've got my Have you ever tried the Avion facial spray? I would show it to you, but it's in the trunk. That stuff is heaven on earth. I just love using it after I work out or just now after hiking. We decided not to do the other hike because, that was my first time hiking and I'm just a little tired. But we definitely want to come back and do other trails and experience other things around here. And I think now that I know what to expect, it'll make it a little easier on me too. But one, don't go hiking in boots you haven't broken in yet, because that's what I just did. Two, make sure that you wear thick socks, which we did, and we neither one of us have blisters, which is amazing. Three, this is for me specifically probably, but with my ballerina toes that have been broken so many times, I need to wrap my toes in tape before I go for a hike because my toes were killing me. That was what I think made it so miserable for me, was going downhill. My toes were like scrunching up on the edge of the boots that I have, and it just really hurt my toes. And so if I tape them up first, like I did back in the day, it'd be fine, I think. And then the other thing is maybe even wear compression socks under the thick socks, just to help with swelling of feet and stuff. Because that's the issue, is it's actually kind of humid out here. It's like, not like Florida, but I think it said today it's 28% humidity today. And as we went down the hill, it kept getting hotter and hotter. And so it's suddenly like in the 90s. That's hard to hike in, for me anyway. But I'm so impressed with, and then, of course, make sure I bring my inhaler too, which luckily I did. And I thought, I'm not going to need this, but I did need it. Make sure if you have asthma that you bring your inhaler, because even if you don't think you're going to need it, like I didn't think I would, I did end up needing it, and thank God I had it. I probably would have had an asthma attack out there if I didn't have my inhaler. But the big thing was, let's see, I've got my sunscreen that I've been wearing, and I have one of these hats. This one's a Carhartt hat. And this was really nice to help keep my face from getting burnt. And, but I did have fun. It was a real struggle getting back up that hill. But I also know not all hikes are like that. And some of them have a nice view that you can look at afterwards. So, I do want to go hiking again, just not today.